are probably comments that are coming in about how exactly the games will be now. Regional League, the third tier of that is the league in Uganda is going to be taking off, and still in West Nile there are a lot of things that are coming in right there. So West Nile Television will be getting to, that is Luo Grounds, to give you what exactly is happening between Nebi and Paidha. This game will be at 3, but of course all concerns raised after, of course, posters and the rest were shown, and people felt this is not. Now, the question is, why change of time and the rest? That's one thing that we will be discussing about, because it's one of the big factors that probably keep coming into the world of sports right there. But it's going to be about mostly games that are to be televised. What exactly happens with them? Susie, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Owen. Good afternoon, viewer. You're most welcome. What's your time? 2 to 3. The house is full, of course, to give you the best, and we are here. News coming through. Express, a sack head coach. Very surprising and interesting. A lot of sackings, I guess, that might be coming through. Keep it glued.
Benson said yesterday about sacking. Of course, a sacking week that keeps going after 1-1 draw by Express Bull. We did see that happening last night, and at the same time we are also having more sackings. Names like Basena have also left different clubs that they have been in right there. Benson, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Owen. Good afternoon, Susie. Good afternoon, the viewers who are following us right now. I think today I will be putting my emphasis about the sacking that, of course, is taking place all over, not only within the country, and also a hateful passing ways with Moses Basena. And also, if you go to Europe, the team of Sheffield United already parting ways with Beckenbottom, and at the same time, Swansea, the other sacking their manager, Ollie Dwarf. And it happens because the season has already reached at the 10 stage whereby teams are fighting for relegation. Teams that are strong enough, they are fighting to see that they win the title. As probably finish in a better position. But to me, I would say the decision being taken by the stakeholders of South Express, to me, is a bad one.
Odochi is the man we're talking about, but off that, let's talk about what exactly is happening. Now, what do you think? We've seen very many televised games have been, of course, changed the dates, and very many people still keep saying that, of course, the region is always the final stakeholder that will be giving you the competition committee about the change of time right there. But all in all, we've seen televised games being changed, and that's one big thing in there. And Nebi versus Paidha is one game that has been readjusted, which has brought a lot of things, and people have given genuine reasons for that. Nebi is saying it may affect their play because of fans and the rest. Their fans may come late and this and that. So what exactly would be the best way for you to, which advice would you be given to such, of course, clubs, Nebi and Paidha, both, Susie?
The complaint, to me, it's really not, but it does not hold water. I would say, sorry to say that. They really needed to, I think they need to heed to, there is the adjustments. We've seen a lot of adjustments, even sometimes the whole fixture is brought ahead like 2 days, 3 days. Recently we saw Calvary, Calvary fixtures being pushed a little bit in front compared to the initial date that it is supposed to run, and they all hit to the change and did play the game. So I mean, this is regional. We shouldn't really complicate things, and televising these games really gives a platform to showcase talent, to market the players and all that to other teams that actually are involved. So to me, really, this is not genuine, and they really needed to play. They really needed to play along with the change of time.
Benson, they've said that it affects the revenue, and that's one case they're talking about. I don't know how it will affect their revenue, but that's one thing the club is saying. I mean, fans are saying in there. What do you say about that?
Exactly. Sticking to your statement, how will it affect their revenue? We have seen changes in time zone, even in Europe. And this game is being brought forward by 1 hour earlier. I think it's a good one because it's going to give that time for the fans to depart back home. And at the same time, this game being brought one hour earlier because initially these games, of course, are supposed to kickstart at 4 p.m. Then it's only the live games, which of course have been pushed to 1 hour earlier, which will be kickstarting at 3 p.m. I think there is a genuine reason as to why, of course, these games they have been pushed 1 hour, one hour earlier. And what about the disadvantage part of it? You know, in football, sometimes we follow time, sometimes we don't follow time. Much as Europeans said that the time is money. And you see, in most cases, most of the Africans, they do come back from work at 11. And normally they have their lunch at around 11, not 11 rather, at 1. And then they have their lunch at around starting from 1 to 2 there. Maybe they are trying to complain that it's going to squeeze that time for the lunch for them. But
there's no way it's going to be a Sunday. Probably I'm expecting after church, people turning up for lunch. There's no church that goes up to 3.
Maybe they are used to the time, the usual time zone, which is at 4 p.m. But to me, I don't see it as a bad one. Bringing these games to kickstart at 3 p.m. Time zone changes. Even in Europe, at the start of the season, we always see games kickstarting, night games kickstarting at a quarter to the hour of 10 p.m. But of late, most of the games, they are kickstarting at 11 p.m. I see it as a normal thing. If this one was to be at night, I was going to say there is a reason for the stakeholders and also for the fans to complain. And this is at daytime. Maybe there is also one thing as to why they are complaining, maybe the sun heat, of course. In case that very day the sun heat is going to be much, it's going to affect these players. But to me, I don't see it as a big problem.
Now, two things that always make a time change frame sometimes. One of them is the quality of that is let's say when the sun. The one is about the timing. Two is for of course, you know, as a team of that is the broadcasts. It is always a lot to come, set, put, and then get back. That's also another because most of these places also, these clubs stay far. The last time we had a game against, in Nebbi, had a very bad image where you saw people were beaten in the same game, which is Nebbi versus Paida. So this time around, I think everything is going to be there. But of course, it's not for any other intention. Time frame, time changes always there in games because of certain issues here and there, which of course I believe the region will notify all the clubs that are supposed to be in there. But of course, also the same thing was and that is the pre-meeting. I remember in Koboko, of course, these are some of the things that were involved, and even said to them that there are going to be a little bit of changes that will probably be coming during these games, like time, and then of course maybe change of venue because of the quality that will be coming right there. So those are some of the things I would really want to talk about. But all in all, yes, it's one big thing that we're talking about, and yeah, we're looking up for all what is happening. Okay, that is that. I think not only that, you're going to be seeing a couple of games that will be affected, and not only, of course, that game. But if you look at what exactly is coming, teams also gearing up, like in the starting FUFA Big League. Duporaka Football Club is having a friendly match today to see that they get prepared for Boma. The team is set to travel until Saturday ahead of the Sunday encounter right there. Now that is where, of course, the team will be in there, and the friendly means a lot right for a team like this. And probably Benson, if you look at these preparatory games, do they help clubs, or do they really? Do you see any value of such?
Yeah, the value is there because on the Paraka currently the pressure is on them. Why am I saying this one? The pressure is not only them not performing very well, the pressure of not picking even a mere point in an away game is there. You look at the game against Boma. Boma is a side that, of course, has been giving hard times to the teams that are coming from the region of West Nile. You can ask Calvary; they know best about them. And each and every time you ask some of the leaders, you ask some of the fans, they will say that their first win, of course, will be away win will be happening over the team of Boma. Initially, they lost the other one, which they actually lost into the hands of the team Lugazi. And before the game happened, they said that they were going to pick their maximum number of points away from home, which they lost. Again, it's coming against the Boma, a tough side, a side that is also ahead of Onduparaka. And for them to pick maybe a point, where is the maximum number of points. They need massive preparation. Very soon, of course, they will be leaving Arua to that side of Boma. And before actually they leave, they need to prepare extensively. I think the friendly they have organized against Arua City Select is a good one. I think this is, of course, is going to motivate every player, the team, the stakeholders, such that maybe a point, as the 3 points, they can be in position to come back in the bags. And
okay, that's what is happening, and of course the team is set to move on Saturday, probably for the game on Sunday. So it's going to be another big encounter that you could be seeing right there for such a team. But all in all, let's leave that the idea. It was just a walk away. Susie, Express parted ways with the head coach, James Odochi. Odochi, remember when the man by the name Sam Simbwa left the club after they fell out in, that is, I think they had issues when Vipers were Express was the champion. And then in the Uganda Cup, they also went to represented Uganda in the CAF Champions League, where they were knocked out throughout, couldn't get any win. I want to say, this gave hope to Express board that Odochi is the right man to keep hands on the team. And after all this happened, Odochi kept the club last season and this season now. We did see him win the best coach of the month in one of the accolade awards. But this time round, 5 games, no win, has shown him the axe, and which, of course, he got it against Bull after Bull had gotten 2 red cards, and still Express couldn't get the goal to seal it out. It was 1-1 all. And that's what made him to be fired after poor result. What does your statement say?
I think that sacking there, you people already anticipated it from the consequences we have been actually pulling through. Benson talked that yesterday. I think we discussed it yesterday and all that. I think Express are playing a draw with Bull, and the season starting on a terrible notice for them, as and the coach, that very accent that Owen has said. And this statement came in through on this 6th day of December. Express Football Club announces that the club has ended their relationship with Mr. James Odoch and Eric Ndifuna. The club would like to thank them for their tireless efforts as head coach and assistant respectively during their time at the club, and wish them success in their next career undertaking. In the interim, Hassan Mubiru is an integral part of the technical team at the club, will take over management now. Results failing to come, and then coaches are being sacked here and there and all that. But then I really don't know if at all Express had picked a win yesterday against Bull, being shown already 2 red cards. Of course, every other team would expect really your opponent to win when the red cards. But Bull is again one funny team. Bull, by the way, doesn't lose when they pick a red card. We saw Bull beating Onduparaka last season twice in a row at Greenlight Ababet Stadium, even after picking red cards. One was in Startimes Uganda Premier League, the other was in Uganda Cup. So I think Odoch tried. Yeah, they had. You gave us a brief history about him. They had hopes in him. They had trust in him after pushing, of course, the team through. And yeah, things happen. Being sacked with the assistant, both, which means the stakeholders have not been really realizing whatever it is that they expected out of them.
Benson, if you look 2020-2021 season, after the sacking of not Sam Simbo, but Waswa Bosa, they had to make sure that this guy took charge after winning the Premier League. And then from there, that's when they got a chance again to make sure I gave him a chance. The whole season, last season, he finished 10th, if you remember, with the Express Football Club. Of course, 10th with 34 points in the 28 games that he played. This season, they expected a lot. So was this already something planned to make sure that this is going to be just waiting for a loophole?
Owen, I've been asking myself, has it happened at the wrong time or is it has happened at the right time? If it has happened at the right time, who is that the coach we are seeing within the country who will come and take over? You look at the Express. I am flashing back, taking a look at how they performed last season. I remember very well at the beginning of the second phase of last season, Express was one team that was not performing very well. Till towards the end of last season, that was when we saw them starting to pick maximum number of points. And at the end, they finished 10th, as you have mentioned. And now, Odot James, now that everything, of course, has already ended for him and also for the club, who is that person who is coming? On the other side, we have seen the other coach, our own native, that's Moses Basena, also been sacked by another team from Tanzania and Premier League called Ihefu. Does it mean this one will pave way for him? I'm just trying to think like that. So to me, the negative bit of it comes this way. Is there any other coach who will come and fill that gap that has been left by Odot James is one thing I am looking at. And at the same time, you look at how the team truly has been performing. The results, the negative results started coming after, of course, the fixtures we are scheduled for the team of Express. We all know that some fans, of course, got encountered in the section of hooliganism. So that thing, since then, the team of Express has not won any game. They lost into the hands of Maroons, picking draws here and there. And I watched one of their games. I think the game they played with the Wakiso Giants. I watched the game. They were, sorry to say that, they were playing a totally ugly football. So it's all upon the stakeholders to look for a very good manager as his replacement. But I'm still hopeful Express can bounce back because currently they're having something of around 13 to 14 points there, and the team that is currently leading the log is only having 25 points, something of around 11 or 9 there. Still they can catch up. So to me, I don't see it as a very good decision. And maybe those people, they looked at the 2 red cards that was earned by the team of Bull FC. They thought that the coach would have won the game, but playing a team that is already having a red card will even play a better game than not having a red card. I can give best example with the game Chelsea played against Brighton, which they won. They had a red card. A team that is having a red card, you can even ask Manchester United. It's always very hard, but a very bad decision they have taken just because of one reason. Currently, the good managers, they are scarce currently in the country.
Okay, now that's what big thing that has happened, and we're expecting a lot more from that. It's the sacking moments that probably will be coming. Clubs are still doing more. Let's get to the Uganda Premier League games that were played yesterday, and of course some of the games that are coming are right there. Now, of course, Busoga had a game against, Soltilo Bright Stars. Also had a game. All in all, we did see Sports Club Villa having a draw. Then we saw Express having 1-1 all against Bull, as Arua Hill went again 2-2 all draw after, of course, winning in there in a draw. Susie, Arua Hill could not pick that win at home and a draw. What does that signal?
A draw, I would say a draw is not a bad one for them, but that is a team Arua Hill. They tried picking a draw against our Giants. I mean, there is a huge one. They first took the lead, and then our Giants came in and equalized. They took again the second lead with scoring that goal, and then towards the ending minutes of the game, that's when we saw our Giants equalizing that game, and it ended 2-2. Arua Hill was home, and they really needed this win. But even if they had picked the win, it wouldn't really do much. It wouldn't change their position on the table. I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of their fans on social media saying that the season has started for them. This is where they're gaining momentum from. But it's also the same thing they wrote when actually they played KCA and all that, and most of the teams that actually they have been playing. Royal still has a lot of work to do. Yesterday, I saw some of the players that have not been playing, that have not been around, coming through and scoring. I think one of the goals came in from Olu Kawawa there, and it was my first time seeing him. I don't know if I'm wrong.
No, he scored last game. This time now it was Rashid Muhammad,
I've not been,
the one who has not been playing, not Rashid Kawawa.
Yeah, I've not been seeing him since the season started. And I think if the players keep coming back and all that, it really gives morale to some of the players. You know, in the pitch, by the way, you gain momentum because of your fellow friend. You gain momentum because of your colleague. So basically, if the people that you wish to play with, if the people that you know would come through and help the club lift it off their shoulders and all that are not around, trust me, the rest of the players can lose in morale and all that, and they just play for just, I would say. But then Roy Hill holding in Wakiso to a draw at home, that was a very good one to me.
Benson, if you look at Roy Hill Sports Club, you would see that all the game is surrounded again by two players. One is Wahab Gaddafi, and then the other is of late Okumu Rogers. And if he is not up front there, and then you don't see the threat moving up front there, what do you say about this?
You see, every team, of course, will be having one or two players that can be able to carry the whole team onto their shoulders. Even on the Parake is having, you go to Europe, every team is having, it's good that though the team is not performing very well, at least each and every game they play, at least there has to be one or two players you have just mentioned. People can be able, as the fans can be able to fix their eyes on. It's true that Kawa Rashid, of course, has been playing an integral role for the team of Roy Hill Sports Club. But yes, he's playing deep in the midfield. You always see goals coming from him. Plus the other players, of course, the fans can fix their eyes on too. And at the same time, speaking something a little about the game which happened yesterday, the point they picked to me is a positive one, positive to the both sides, because I expected them to have picked at least a draw because they were all fighting for this. Why am I saying this one also? Because these two teams, they do share a lot of common things in terms of statistics. First of all, they're in the relegation zone. How many games have they so far won? How many games have they lost? So a draw is not all that a bad one for the team of Roy Hill Sports Club. Unfortunately, it might be to some extent a bad one because it cannot move them out of the relegation. Otherwise, not a bad one for the both sides.
Yeah, exactly. That's what exactly happened in the game. But you have also a team, of course, of UPDF, not UPDF, but Express Bull. Still, I want to come back because of one thing. 2 red cards. What next for Bull? Won't this affect them?
It will, of course, affect them. But Owen, trust me, Bull is one side that always gets to fight harder when now they have a red card. And I don't know, from the time I started following Bull, I've seen them pick red cards. And then, of course, we always expect that when a team picks a red card, it becomes an advantage to the opponent. But then, you don't see it with Bull. You don't even realize that they are less. They cover in the pitch, and it would literally be very hard for you to realize that they are less and all that. Bull is one side that always fights very hard. In fact, when now they have a red card, they will be affected, yes. But then, unless otherwise, I think they have a rich bench, I would say. Bull has a very rich bench, much as the people that have been red-carded are very key players that actually the club needs to push them through. But trust me, Bull has a full squad, a squad that is very rich, and a squad that has a lot of good players, players that can manage the league, players that are proven. I would say we would really not see a lot of this toning down on Bull and them being affected really that much.
Benson, technically and tactically, if you look at the two defenders, one of them is Walter Ochora, and then of course being in this, you have also Tohomera, who has been also one key name, Benon, in this defense line of Bull Football Club. The two shall be missing around 3 games or 2-3 games, but that is one big thing. Key player as a coach, what would you say for this?
Exactly. Obviously, it's going to affect the performance of the team. That's Bull FC. Like Susie just said, you know, when players pick red cards, as some players are missing out for a team, first of all, you look at the influence these players, whereas the players are feeling in that team. Has he been a regular starter? That is the first thing you look at. How is his performance? In case he has been a regular starter, he has been playing a vital role in the team of Bull FC. Obviously, they will be missing the services. And the worst of it is, of course, defenders. You know, it's something very difficult to get good defenders. Now it has gone into the hands of the defenders. That means they will have to go back to their bench and look for the players that can be able to fix the gap that have been left by these two people, and that can also be performing the way how they have been performing. And one good thing in African football is, you know, most of the teams we have in Africa, they do play that kind of gang pressing football, and it becomes very difficult for even a person to know that this other side is having a red card. That's why in most cases when a red card is given to the other team, you always see them fighting, even play the whole game as if there is no red card. But it being in the department of the defense, still I know it will affect the team of ball.
Okay, now that's one big thing that we're going to be seeing. A couple of games will also be coming today, but if you know, it's the Bull. I know Bull has multiple options into the team. They one of the busiest team in the transfer last season. I mean, this beginning season was Bull Football Club. So I expect them to have options that probably could be coming in there and see what exactly they can do in their next game. Looking at their next fixture, probably you will see that Bull will be taking their next encounter against the team of that is NEC Football Club, and Bull will be at Technical Center Njeru, where they will be at home. So it is going to give them option that they should be winning. But of course, if you look at also the table standing of the Star Times Uganda Premier League before other games are played, you would say that it is one of the promising one for Bull Football Club. They are still 3 seasons consecutively fighting for top 4 in there now. Right now, as I talk, they sit top with 25 points, and then Vipers sits behind them with 1 game to be played, of course, at hand with 20 points, and Chitara Airtel with 19 points as Maroons at number 4 with 17, NEC at number 5 at 16, and Villa at number 6 with 13, Express at number 7 with 13, URA at number 8 with 13, and Bright Stars at number 9 with 11, Gaddafi at number 10 with 10, and of course 11th is Busoga with 10, Mbarara with 8 points at number, of course, 12, UPDF at number 13 with 8 points, and KCC at number 14 with 7 points, Wachiso Giants with 7 points at number 15, Rua Hill Sports Club with 5 points at number 16. And that's how exactly the teams are right there. And this gives you a moment. Now, I think someone can witness, or someone can bear it with me, that I said, if Airtel Chitara is on top, if NEC is on top, we shall see when the games reach half a game, and you know where everyone starts lying, and those people who obviously will be there. I remember saying a statement like that because this is the Uganda Premier League that I have watched and followed for quite a long time, but this time round, don't be scared. And to see that KCCA won't be in the relegation zone very soon, and you will say how, and that is one